American society is locked in a culture war. It's impacting almost every sector of our public life. But this conflict is most acute in the realm of politics, where it now threatens our democracy. While some form of the left-right divide will always be with us, the perennial political contest between liberals and conservatives can mature into a more functional version of itself. Let me tell you how. America's hyperpolarized condition doesn't stem from a simple disagreement. Our national schism is being caused by an underlying polarity of values. It's therefore crucial to understand that polarities, like the one that is roiling American society, represent indestructible systems. In other words, the polarity between liberals and conservatives is not a problem that can be solved. It's a system that needs to be managed. Right now, this polar system is stuck. But by managing our polarization more skillfully, we can restore functionality to our politics and civility to our culture. People in the world of business have recently developed the know-how to effectively manage indestructible polarities, and this knowledge is extremely useful for our current political situation. Problems to be solved are usually a matter of good versus bad, but indestructible polarities arise when we encounter good versus good. That is, when different sets of positive values conflict, a kind of dynamic system emerges. Familiar value polarity systems include liberty and equality, real and ideal, mercy and justice, competition and cooperation, and even masculine and feminine. In positive polarities such as these, each side creates its own kind of value, but each side also depends on its polar counterpart to maximize its own value-creating capacity. For example, consider the polarity of liberty and equality. The only way to have complete equality is to eliminate liberty. Yet conversely, if we value liberty alone, gross inequality will be the result. So in order to have both liberty and equality, we need the opposing poles of this polarity to moderate and constrain each other in an ongoing developmental process. Put another way, when faced with an indestructible, permanently recurring polarity of values, getting the best of both sides means establishing a relationship of challenge and support. This involves working with a natural tension between the two poles to continuously true up both sides. When it comes to the political polarity of left and right, creating the kind of cooperative relationship that allows for both challenge and support doesn't mean supporting the other party's candidate. It simply means acknowledging the basic legitimacy of the other side's bedrock values. Even if we disagree with their programs and policies, we can show conditional support for the other side by better recognizing the good they're trying to do, even while we resist their pathologies. And if we can't see any good on the other side, then we need to look more closely. However, when we look beyond our opposing interests to see more deeply into the bedrock values of our opponents, we can begin to recognize the inherent interdependence of liberal values and conservative values. And this simple act of acknowledging the interdependence of our respective values can establish the kind of political environment in which our respective challenges to each other can be more effective. Skillfully managing the polarity of liberal and conservative values, however, is not simply a matter of meeting in the middle or seeking a static compromise. Working to create a relationship of challenge and support with our political opponents represents a new approach to politics, one that is pragmatic and transformational at the same time. The only way to restore functionality to our democracy is to effectively grow out of the hyperpolarization that is poisoning our politics. And to grow in this way, we need to expand the scope of what we can value, both collectively and individually. The details of how this process can work to overcome hyperpartisan polarization are laid out in my book, Developmental Politics: How America Can Grow into a Better Version of Itself. Thank you for considering these ideas.